Hello Hello สวัสดีครับ All right. There we go. Welcome, welcome. This class is probably gonna be a little bit smaller. We're a little early in Thailand here. So how is everyone doing today? To start with, we can all start by opening up replit.com. If you haven't already, go ahead and make an account there. We'll use it for coding.
Sure, can I use VS Code?
Oh, if I had my volume off, there we go. And same with last time. Once you're on REPL, go ahead. Shoot. Once you're on REPL, you can go ahead and click on the toolbar, click Create. A little zoomed in here. There we go. Type in HTML. Yes, if you have VS Code, you can go ahead and use that. If you have any other IDE, as long as you can, get a screen up. All right, HTML and click Create. And yeah, if you have VS Code, you can use something like HTTP server. Make a little server testing that on. All right. If everyone could for me, maybe put in the chat, like, or you know what? Maybe we can introduce ourselves. If you want, you can introduce yourself or introduce yourself in the chat. Maybe say or put how much you've been coding, how comfortable you are, and maybe how much you speak English, how good you are at English. And for new people, you can go ahead and do Replit. I have it in the chat. Go to Replit, make an account. Toolbar, click on Create, type in HTML. Good morning from China. And then go ahead and click Create REPL. Good morning to everyone. Very early morning for you guys here.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. And yeah, we have a more manageable class size today. So if you ever want to ask any questions, go ahead, unmute, ask away. Also,
Teacher.
Yep.
What the website again?
It is Replit. I'll post it in chat. Go ahead, go there. Make an
Okay.
And once you're there, you go ahead and do create HTML. Click on HTML, CSS, JS, and click on create REPL. All right, we'll go ahead now and start with some review. And this time I'll try to speak a little bit more Thai. For the first review, remember HTML uses tags. ถ้าเราจะอยากให้ browser สร้าง thing. Let's say we wanted to make a header. ถ้าเราจะอยากให้ browser สร้าง text ที่ใหญ่มาก ทุกใครรู้ว่าเราจะพิมพ์อะไร ถ้าเราจะอยากสร้าง text ที่ใหญ่มาก H1, correct. H1 is the header. We'll go less than sign. Less than sign. H1 greater than sign. And REPL will make the end tag automatically. The end tag always has a slash and then the name of the tag, the same name as the beginning. And then we can type in our text. Welcome to my website. And we get a big welcome to my website. There are also smaller headers going all the way down to H6. Smaller and smaller text. Oh, and to anyone just coming on, we are on Replit. I will post the link in the chat. Go there, make an account. And then once you're here, click on create. Type in HTML, click on the HTML CSS JS button, and click create REPL. All right, we are doing a little review here, going over the H1, H2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are also P tags. P then paragraph. น้อยกว่า sign. P มากกว่า sign. เครื่องหมายมากกว่า like this, and type in this is normally sized text. And there we go. Sorry, I'm trying to organize stuff here. Okay. There is also the CSS. ถ้าเราจะอยากเปลี่ยนสีที่ text เราจะไป file นี้ we're going to do a different file. We're going to go to style.css. It is a different language. And in this file, we will write CSS. It doesn't use the tags. It just uses the name of the tag to select what kind of tag you want to change. Left curly brace, enter, shoot. And then color, colon, red, semicolon. And our text is red. We can do the same for a p tag, left curly brace, shoot, color, colon, green, semicolon, and our p text is green. This is all just review of last class. And if you ever have any questions, you can just unmute yourself or type it in chat. All right. And finally, the last thing we went over last class was changing the background colors. ถ้าเราจะอยากเปลี่ยนสีพื้นหลังเราจะพิมพ์ body left curly brace enter และ background 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 dash color color colon and then light yellow สีเหลือง semicolon. And if I click enter, I get a nice little light yellow. Give everyone a second to write that down. All right. Now, could anyone tell me what might happen if I were to put background color on my H1? If I were on my H1, I will add the attribute attribute is the word we use for each of these changes. Each change is called modifying an attribute. We are changing an attribute of the H1 tag. We're changing something about it. What happens if I were to try and change the background color of all my H1s to black? Who knows what will happen? And yes, only the line of the headlines gets this background color. Correct. If we click run, we see just the header area gets a black background. The reason for that is that when we put a background color on the body is actually the tag that shows the entire website. If we look at our index, our entire website is wrapped or is in between these two tags. So when we add a background color to this tag, it goes over our entire website. If we add a background color just to the H1, it goes just over the H1. Oh, and to all new people, we are going to Replit.com, going there, making an account, and then we're clicking the create button, typing in HTML, selecting HTML, CSS, JS, and clicking create REPL. And right now we're just in the review stage of last class. Okay, question here. Not that it would make any sense, but is it technically possible to have an H1 nested into an H2? Let's see what will happen. Okay, you want to see what happened if we put this H1, let's say, we moved it and put it into the H2 or in between the H2s. As you can see, nothing actually changed. That's because the H1 kind of has precedence over the H2. It does more. As you see, did the H2 change? Let's see. Go back. Yeah, it seems to have just messed stuff up. The H1 stays the same, but the H2 becomes normal text. Yeah, you don't
Teacher,
better.
teacher.
Yep.
I can change my background color.
All right. Go ahead and I'll stop share and then we can share your screen and see what's wrong. The share screen is on the bottom of Zoom, a little button, and then you can select what browser you want to share and then click share.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here, let me show you what you've done wrong. Okay, couple things. It's fine. And other people may have the same problem if you aren't seeing a correct background color.
Oh, body.
Yes, you do have to have a body tag. It has to be changing something. Also, you misspelled color. I believe you added an E here. So make sure it's spelled C-O-L-O-R. Color. All right. Shoot, sorry. All right. I will now show you something new. Let's say we wanted to bold text. We wanted to make one text bold or like signifying it's more important. Let's say in our p tag, I'm going to create another p tag. I'm going to get rid of a couple of my h tags. In my p tag, I'm going to write this next word is very important. And the important word is banana. In bold is it text? No, that is how you do it in Discord and Facebook, but HTML is not that lenient, unfortunately. You actually have to use a tag to make something bold. The tag you use is the strong tag. We do it like this, lesson sign, the word strong, strong, greater than sign. As you see, REPL has made an end tag here for us. We don't want it. We can just copy it, delete it, and put it on the other side of our banana, like this. And if I run it, we can see we have the sentence, this next word is very important, and then banana in bold. And for those curious, this is almost definitely how text things like Discord, Facebook, this is how they're actually making bold text. They're just replacing your asterisk with the strong tag. How many fonts is there that Replit is able to use? I believe almost any ones that come with CSS or JavaScript inherently. Basically any one that you can get as normal. Which actually isn't that many. If you want a specific font, you tend to have to import them. We can get into that later. It's a little more advanced. All right. Next, does anyone know, like just already know, what to do if you wanted to make your text italicized? ใครรู้ว่าจะทำอย่างไรที่เราอยากเปลี่ยน text เป็นตัวเอียง Am I saying that right? เอียง like นี้ And yes, Finya, is EM. Is the EM tag. Let's say I wanted to make the important word, I wanted to make it italicized or ตัวเอียง I'll go เครื่องหมายด้วยกว่า EM เครื่องหมาย Yeah, igual. Again, REPL has made the end tag automatically. So I'll just copy it, delete it, and then put it on the other side of the word. Sorry if this looks a little bit messy. All right, and as you see, you get this word is very important, is all slanted, and banana is very bold. All right. If you found any of that confusing, you can ask some questions because we're actually about to get into something even more difficult. We are going to get into adding pictures or images in the computing world. It's called an image. To add an image, we are first going to need to go lesson sign, img greater than sign. This is the tag. This is very important here. Lesson sign, img greater than sign. We do not end the image tag. We do not put any slash here. No, we just have img. img is called a self-ending tag or self-enclosing tag. And yes, you have it right there. Basically, you need more than just the image tag. You need to go inside the image tag to the left of the greater than sign and to the right of the image. Click space here and then type in src equal sign and then quotation marks. src equal sign quotation marks. Quotation mark เป็นเครื่องหมายที่เราใช้พูด So lesson sign img space src equal sign quotation marks. img stands for image. src stands for source. And does anyone know what I will put in between the quotation marks?
No.
Yeah, one person here in the chat has it right. It is the link to the image. All images, any image on the web have a link somewhere. And what I can do is go ahead and Google coding image. I'll Google coding image, go to images, and I'll take the first one here, a nice coding looking image. Depending on your browser, I'll right click on it and click on copy image address. I'll also paste that image in the chat so you can just use that image if you'd like it. Yes.
Normally, if I wanted to like put my own image that's in my desktop, I would send it to one of my friends on Discord, and then I would like transfer that image into my browser and copy the link.
Yeah, that also works. Yeah, if you had an image on your computer, you totally do that. Also, if you were using something like VS Code, you could just like download the image itself and put it on your file, you know, and then just link directly to your own image. But yeah, you can also take any image from anywhere in the web and paste it in between your quotation marks. And if you click enter, you get a whole image here. It's very big right now. All right, you can also use the image I sent in the chat if you can't find your own. I'll give everyone a chance to catch up. How do you make the image smaller? I will get right to that. But if you are done and are able to get an image up, write done in the chat. But I cannot upload an image to Replit and use that. I suppose you could. Maybe, yeah, you could upload file. Let me see here. Yeah, if you have your own, looks like you click upload file and then here, let me grab something, test it out. And yes, Poro, we do have recordings. Zoom's kind of blocking me from trying to upload my own, but looks like there is a way you can click upload file to upload your own. If it won't load, you can also just use the link I put in chat to try an image. Also download the image and go to File Explorer and drag the image to the sidebar. Okay. And yeah, I believe there is a way to, oh, I can move, okay. If you would like, you could also go upload file, PM, yeah, and then find a file on your website. And then, oh, look at that, it actually grabs the actual image. And then instead of this big URL here, you can just type in your image. And that works for me, it seems. But for now, I'll be using the image online. All right, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, maybe REPL only has like a small section of like PNG. Maybe only use PNG or JPEG. All right. Now you may notice that the image is very big. Image ni yaimak. We can make it smaller. Shoot. By going to our CSS. And now we're going to type in img, left curly brace, image. We are basically trying to get the image tag. img, and then we'll type in width, width, just like we see up here. Type in width, colon, and then we'll type in 100px, semicolon. And if we click enter, we get a very small image. 100px, you may remember from our font sizing section. Px just stands for pixel, and that means the width of the image must be 100 pixels. And as we see here, we get a pretty small image. We can up that to 200, make it a bit bigger. I think 200 looks good. All right. Any questions about the image tag? Using the image tag here or the CSS here? All right. In that case, I am going to do a bit of a challenge. Pomจะพิมพ์โค้ดที่ that's wrong. I'm going to write code that's wrong, and you have to tell me what is wrong with it. Everyone understand? All right. Lesson sign. I will actually hide my code here so you won't see. Okay. img, fvr, equal sign, quotation marks, and then I use the link over here, class today.png, greater than sign, /img. There are two things wrong with this line of code. In fact, if I run it, nothing happens. All right. Someone who has a blank name, which is very clever, says greater than sign, not having a closing tag in img. I have a closing tag. Have a greater than sign. SRC, yes. That is the first mistake. It should be, I wrote SCR. It should be FRC. But if I run it, it now does in fact work. The second problem is not actually like, website breaking. It will still work, but it is technically a problem. And yes, that's correct. I don't need the end tag here. Not really a error with the code, just unnecessary. It does nothing. So remember, it is SRC and not SCR. That is a problem I've had many times. If ever your image isn't working, your first instinct should be to check it. Did you write SRC correctly? All right, let me put my earlier image back up. There we go. Let's go ahead and talk about one more thing here. I saw many people in the homework wrote a lot of code using the center tag. I'm not going to teach you how exactly to use the center tag, but its purpose is to move text to the center. Now, the center tag is very useful, it's nice, but technically in the new version of HTML, you should no longer be using it. It is what's called deprecated. It's no longer in use. Instead, what we can instead do is go to our style.css and I'll write H2 curly brace here because I want to target my H2 and type in text dash align. Align is spelled ALIGN colon center CENTR semicolon. I'll put that in the chat because
Teacher, I can see a class, so I can see. I can.
what do you mean?
I can see a picture. I can put the picture.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll go ahead real quick. I'll stop share. You can go ahead and share your code and we'll see what's wrong. All right. Oh, okay. Easy fix, actually. I will show you here. All right. So what you have looks like this. You have a J instead of an I. It's IMG. You have a space between the image and the SRC, and you should have a greater than sign at the end. If anyone else has any bugs in their code, if anything's not working, go ahead, put in chat now or unmute. I can check your code and see what's wrong. All right. So back to text align center. If I were to now click enter, as you see, the ASDEF is still in the center, even if I don't have the center tag. This is the correct way currently of centering text. You don't use the center tag, you just do it in your CSS, which text align center. And I'll go ahead and center my H1 as well. Text dash align colon center semicolon. And now both of them are centered. They're not all to the left, they're in the middle. And if anyone has trouble centering the text, you can also unmute, put in chat. All right. Before we move on to the harder thing this class, I want to talk about styling a little bit. If you notice, all my code has all the attributes on different lines. It has my curly braces on different lines. Technically, you don't need to do that. Technically, I could write code like this. This code is the exact same thing to the browser, to your computer. It looks the same. Your computer doesn't care what your code actually looks like, what spaces you have and stuff. But a programmer does. It's nicer to look at code that is evenly spaced out. So the idea of styling is to add, click enter on each new line, have a new line for each piece of code, and have all your curly braces on different lines. That way it looks nicer for the programmer. There's little things in styling that programmers disagree on. Like some people put their curly braces here. I'll teach my way. But for the most part, everyone keeps, things on different lines and stuff. All right. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to IDs. Now, what if I wanted to say I have two paragraphs here, right? I have a paragraph for my very important word and another paragraph about my normally sized text. Let's say I just wanted one of my paragraphs to be a different color. ถ้าเราอยากเปลี่ยนสี1 p 1 paragraph. We would go about by giving the tag an ID or like a sticker saying this is what the tag is. This is the name of the tag. To do that, I'll write to the right of the P, I'll write space ID =, quotation mark. See here, the equal sign, and the quotation mark. And in between the quotation marks, I'll write something like text. I'll give it a name, text. I can name it whatever I want. I can name it all that, but I'll name it text. ID equals quotation mark and then a name. Now in my style, I can go ahead and instead of just changing the p tag or all my p tags in my code, I can change just the ID. I can change just the tag with the ID text by writing hashtag. Hashtag is here next to your or above your 3. It's shift and then 3 is hashtag, the name of the ID, text, left curly brace, enter. I'm now selecting just the ID. I'll now write color, colon, dark red, semicolon. And if I click enter, now one of my p tags are red and one is green. I'll give everyone a chance to write it down. If you have questions, put it in chat, unmute yourself. And when you're done writing it down, go ahead and write done in chat. Remember in the p tag, I wrote ID here, and then in the style, I wrote hashtag to find just that ID. All right. All right. I will now go ahead and add another p tag. So we have more p tags. I have this p tag say something like, oh, do you use / to add a comment in code, or what do you use? Okay, good question. In REPL, no matter the language, you can type in command / and you comment something out. If you don't know what commenting out is, don't worry about it. It's not very important right now, but as you see in HTML, it's a different thing to comment something out. But no matter what, it is just / and you just comment it out. Command /. All right, so I'll add another P and I'll write this is more text. I'll run it and I can see I have this more text. Now, let's say I wanted to have a way to make just this P, this particular P, and just this H to be a different color, to be the same color. You may say I could use an ID. I could give them both a different ID called yellow. But an ID is only supposed to be used once. It's like a text, it's like your name. It's a unique identifier. It's a one-time thing for one tag. So you can't use the same name for multiple tags. What you can do is instead write class. I'll give this particular P tag and this H2 the class yellow. Class is the same thing as an ID, but you can use it for multiple tags. I will now go to my style, and below the text, I will put in dot, and then the name of my class, which I named yellow, dot yellow, left curly brace, and then color, colon, yellow, semicolon. If I now run it, both of these are very bright yellow. Actually, I'll make it dark yellow so it's easier to see. Looks like it's not a dark yellow. I'll say gold, tong. And now they're both gold. A tag can have multiple classes, right? Yes, a tag can have, you can have like as many classes as you want on a tag. You can also have as many IDs, technically. Don't really need it though. All right, so let's think about what we've just done here. What we've done is we've made different colors, on different text, but we've done it irrelevant of the actual tag. Before, we could only change like just all the H1s or all the H2s. Now we can change the tags we want to change. We don't have to just have an H2 just so we can, make one text green. We can just give it the class, and then we can name the class whatever we want. And then in our CSS, we can give attributes to that class and give that class to any tag we want. Do I write class equals name1, class equals name2, or with a comma? Good question. Let me try it out here. H2 class equals red. Make another class here for red. Yeah, I believe you put, comma red. Yeah. If you want to add multiple classes, you use commas within the quotation marks. And then sometimes, like this time, you have like confliction there. So just go with whatever, is closest to the right. And yeah, the last one's overwriting the former one. And in this case, yellow is overwriting red. But if I go to red and, text align center, oh, it was the right text align centered. Text align left. Okay, not sure what's overriding what here, but we can get to that later. CSS gets tricky and like all the stuff you end up overriding. All right. Before I move on, any questions about anything we talked about or just like coding in general, questions you have? Let me do a little poll. Oh, go back to banana. How can I up the size of this word? Okay. This will actually use a couple things we've learned. Let's try this. For those who remember the font size, we can actually go ahead and in our CSS just type in strong here. Like we can get just the strong tag. Left curly brace, and then we can go font dash size colon, and then I'll put in 30 px semicolon. And if I run it, banana is bigger. This is actually a fun thing you can do here. You can just grab like just the strong tag, and now all strong tags are going to be bigger. And you can do the same thing with like a class. Like I can go ahead and in my strong tag, give it the class yellow. I know that's a little messy here because I have a very big screen. So my strong tag now has the class yellow, and if I run it, my banana is yellow, which is very good. If bananas are yellow. I can even put the class red on the EM. And now if I run it, oh wait, 1 second. I don't know if I removed it. All right. Make a new class for red with the color red. And if I run that, my important is now red. And that shows kind of the fun thing about classes. You make a class that gives it the color red, and now whenever you want, you can just give that class to any tag. And now I have very nicely different words, differently colored words in one sentence. All by giving it a class to the different EM or strong tags. What is the chat logo in purple on Replit? It says threads. Not quite sure what you're talking about. In purple, it might be Zoom somewhere. Right bottom. Oh yeah. Replit has like a way to program with other people. It's a little difficult to set up, but it does have a way, so that's probably for that. Good question though. Or it might be for when you like upload the project. Like you can upload projects to like the Replit community. Maybe for that, I'm not sure. All right. let's go ahead and see how wacky we can make one sentence. I'm going to try to take one sentence and add as much styling and wackiness as I can to it. For the demonstration here, I'm going to put it right below my header. It would just be a p tag to start with, and it would say, this is a very wacky sentence. I'm now going to go ahead and put a strong tag on the this, a em tag on the very, and another strong tag on the word sentence. All right. Given that even I had a little trouble doing that, I'll give everyone a second to try to get that looking correct. All right. And one thing that you got correct, I can actually show you. This is what it should look like. I actually already have some styling done on my strong tags. If you remember from the style, all my strong tags have a font size of 30. So already the sentence is looking a little wacky. I would go ahead and start with having, I'll add a class to the first one. I'll give it the class yellow, like we did before. Now the this is yellow. Now, in my EM, I'm going to give it a ID of small. This is an ID, so I can only use it once. Usually I wouldn't really want to add an ID to something like this, but I will for educational purposes. ID equals small. And in my style, I'll write hashtag small, left curly brace, and then font dash size colon 10 px. Or let's go 5 px. That should be very small. The normal font size is about 12. If I now click enter, my very is very small. Unlike my, I did this by doing ID equals small and then having a small selector in my CSS. All right, I have no idea if this worked. Yeah, okay. There we go. All right, that looks really fun. I will say, make sure to have a semicolon at the right before the end of that quotation mark. It's not technically necessary, but it's good practice to always make sure to have those semicolons. But yeah, that is very cool there. And if you see in the chat, what he's done is he's used something called inline styling. Don't have to do that. Don't worry about that. It's just a way to add CSS right into the code. But finally, in my sentence, I'll go ahead and give the strong a class. What's something I could do to it? Any suggestions on what I could do to the last word here?
Sorry, what did you say?
Say it.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh yeah. Any suggestions on what I could do to the last word? Anyone have any ideas on what I could do? Any like CSS properties I could add? Oh, okay. Huh. All right. Okay, hi. Yeah, you don't want to actually have a tag with the name of your class. Maybe you could in the past, but that's not really how we do things anymore. But I mean, let me try it, see if it still works. A tag of nothing, and then styles. I'll write nothing. Sorry, just testing a little bit out here. Yeah, I guess you can just do it like that. I would recommend still using like span tags and adding a class to the span tag. That's kind of what the span tag is meant for. Don't worry about that, people know. We'll go over span later. The reason it might not be working is because you're trying to align 3 different things in the same p tag. Maybe try a left and a right in one line. It seems to not work. I will try that after class, and I'll try to get back to you about how that works. All right. Yeah, I'll test some stuff out. I believe it's because you're trying to align a bunch of stuff in a p tag that already has its own alignment, so it's overriding it. All right, so what I'm going to do for the last word in the sentence here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'm going to give it the class last. It's just a class with the name last. And in my style, I'll write dot last, left curly brace. And now I'm going to write font dash size colon 100. Wait, now let's go 50 pixels. If I run it, my last word is very big. I'm also going to do one more thing to it. I'm going to write margin dash left colon 20 px. Margin left If I run it, as you see, there's a bit of space here between the wacky and the sentence. I can also do 50 pixels, and there's more space. Basically, margin just means how much space is there to the left of me. Margin left just means, okay, give me 50 pixels of space to my left. I can also do margin down 20 pixels. Okay, that might not be working, but basically, margin left is a way to add space to your left. Very useful for like if you want to position something a little bit to the left, but not right in the middle. You can actually kind of fine tune exactly where you want it in the page. But I'm using it just to make the sentence a little bit more wacky. Can we also set it in proportion of the user window size? Yes. We can do that by using a percent sign. Percent is the shift and the 5 right here. The 5. The percent sign means, in this case, 50% of the user's screen. If I run it on REPL, I actually get a pretty big difference. And if I bring it out here to my whole screen, I can see I get like a lot of space. That's because it says, okay, what is the, your screen is however many pixels. And it says, okay, half of those pixels give me that much space to my left. All right. Any questions about classes, IDs, margin left, percent signs, all of the stuff any of the stuff I talked about? All right. In that case, I'll go ahead and wrap up class. If any of this was too confusing, I went too quick, I have another class in a few hours that will be slower paced. We'll try to explain things more. We won't get into more of the advanced stuff. But if this is actually too easy, then stay tuned. We'll keep advancing in this class and we'll get to where you are comfortable. All right. And next class will actually be the 2 weeks from now. We'll have another class as normal on, I believe that will be, because we're skipping next class because I'm on vacation, and we'll be resuming again on the 17th as normal. And if I went too far, went too fast for you, totally fine. There'll be a recording of this, or there should be a recording. Yeah, there will be a recording. I am recording it. I remember to this time. There will be a recording, and I'll also have another class in a few hours that is the slower paced class, and we'll go over things more. That class is at 10:30.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yep.
Where will be the record post?
It's recording to YouTube, and I will post a link to the YouTube video when it is done processing.
Oh, okay.
And with that, goodbye. Thank you for coming to class. If you have any questions or if your code isn't working, I am here for another 10 or so minutes. You can go ahead, unmute, talk to me.
Teacher,
Yes.
I was doing some code and then I was like, I don't know, I just delete it and then I delete the another one because I hang the backspace a bit too far
Hmm.
and I do it again. And is that okay?
Go ahead and screenshot your code. Or yeah, go ahead and share your screen real quick. And yes, I will put the link to my channel up here.
Right now, can I leave?
Here is the link to the channel. Has a few recordings on it so far. All right, looking good. What did you say you deleted? Oh, I see. Okay, you deleted your body tags. Can you scroll up? Okay, yeah. Oh, actually, I see a couple. One thing here. On line 12, go ahead and click on line 12. Or here, I'll go ahead and show you. I'll share my screen. You actually misspelled your image. That's why you aren't seeing an image.
Hmm.
IMG, not IMP, is IMG. But all you need to do for the body is just type in / body greater > sign. And then you have your body tag. It should be fine either way. Everything seems to be working.
I still don't have the picture.
All right. Go ahead and share your screen. Will the course cover version control in future? Yeah, I will actually. I'll eventually go ahead and talk about the differences between version and stuff. Your image seems like it should work. Okay, if you see in your top left here, you have a little like error sign. That's because your image, like, it doesn't have the right actual URL. I would suggest replacing it with the URL I put in chat here. Here, go ahead and copy this image and then paste that in your code. Replace it with the link you have. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It seems more like a SoundCloud thing. Oh, yep, you can also just, copy that URL there. All right, how to save. Yeah, REPL actually saved it for you. Everything's automatically saved. If I go to here, I can actually click away. Oh no, I lost my code, but actually I can go to here and then to my REPLs. At my REPLs, I can scroll down and see all of my REPLs here. It will probably be an unnamed, and here are all my REPLs ever. And it can keep scrolling back. Here's something I made years ago, and it still saved it. Also, if I kind of locked you on speaking not enough Thai, I apologize for that. I will speak more Thai in the next class. I'll try to explain things in Thai a bit more. How's it going there?
I still can use the image.
All right, go ahead and share your screen one more time. All right. Click the big run button for me. Is anyone else getting this behavior? If you're also getting this thing happening, maybe post in chat. Image, SRC.
I know what's wrong. You have like at the end of JPG, there's like a slash. You have to remove the slash.
Oh,
That might be it.
this? Yay.
Oh, there we go. Hey, good job. Good job for catching that. I did not catch that. Yeah, I must have had it in like my copy paste. Oh yeah. Yeah, good job.
Mm.
And yeah, if you want to go ahead and at some point you can rewatch the video, see some of the other things that I showed. For example, you can also go, wait, I can't find my old Replit now. Was it? This one? No, can't find my old Replit. But you can also change like the width of it. You can go in your CSS, go image, curly brace, width colon, 100 pixels, 200 pixels. Very soon I have the video uploaded to YouTube. You can rewatch it back, see some other stuff to add to your code. And as usual, homework. You just make a cool little website, use some of the things I taught you today, and post it on the group. The goal is to always be trying to write more code. All right. Any other questions? I'm here for another 5 minutes. Also, any other topics that anyone would like me to cover a bit more? Maybe something you were interested in trying, but couldn't figure out how to do it right. I could talk about more. All right. In that case, hope everyone had a good time. Hope you're able to learn something. Mom, could you translate about the not having class this, next Friday, but the Friday after that on June 17th? If you're still here. All right, not sure she's still here, but there will not be a class this or on June 10th. There will be a class on June 17th. We're skipping a week. Hope everyone had a good time. Hope you learned something. Recording will be on YouTube soon. Have a good day. And thank you.
Bye. Have a great time.
Bye.
You still.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you, P. Quinn. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.